Can you hear me? Sound is okay? I can't hear you. I don't know why. Wait a minute. Well,
My bad. Can you hear me now?
yes.
Okay, sorry about that.
How are you?
I'm
Everything
good,
okay?
thanks. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
First to join
Oh,
the workshop.
great. Oh,
Let's. Well, it's an opportunity to speak. If you have any questions, or how are things going for you with these workshops?
yeah. No, I mean there's so many ideas from each workshop, but it's great because I've already done. I've understood the theory from other lessons with other people, but you've got a great way of putting it into practice as well. So how to
Nice.
apply it to real improvisation.
And have you been applying the ideas? Can you?
Yeah, yeah, I enjoyed playing with some of these exotic scales.
Okay.
It's been good.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, but if we're doing diminished today, so one thing if you could say is I know there's the sort of three diminished patterns and they repeat up and down, but and I know that you can use them over dominant sevens and in a different context over the one chord as a diminished one. But it's just a quick way to like have a visual reference because sometimes I hit the wrong diminished for
Yeah.
the context, if you know what I mean. Then it
Yeah.
sounds like dreadful.
Exactly.
If you have if you have a quick way in which you go, you know, you can recognize where to start the diminished run.
Yeah.
Any tips on that would be really helpful.
Yes. I'll cover definitely. I'll cover that also. Um, uh, Mitchell, welcome.
How you
Everything
doing,
okay
Nuno?
with you?
Yeah, good. Seems like we're a little slim today.
Well, let's see. I think people are gonna start coming. Well, especially here in Portugal, there's been so much sunny weather these days, and lockdown restrictions are being softened. You know, so it's easier to get out of the house and enjoy the sun. You know, I've been thinking about probably postponing the sessions around 4 or 5. I don't know. Let's see. Um, Hi, Adrian.
Hey guys.
I was just about to ask Mitchell if you have um, how is it going for you? The workshops are you being able to apply the ideas in your own playing?
A little bit. I've been pretty busy with the school semester that's
Ah,
stacked pretty high, but so I haven't been practicing as much as I'd like. But here and there, I'm definitely pulling out some of these tricks as much as I
nice.
can.
And I was talking about that with Dave also. I would like to ask you guys general question. If there's if you could think or choose one workshop that really was either confusing or enlightening, you know, the whole spectrum. What would you say it was the most enlightening workshop for you so far? Would you be able to pick one? The most enlightening and the most confusing, just to see the ideas.
I, I like the Ukrainian scale. The guy, the violinist guy, I can't remember his
Mm-hmm.
name, but that just kind of
Marian,
opened
yeah.
my mind of how you can blend these other styles in a way. You know, that was
Mm-hmm.
enlightening for me.
Nice.
Yeah, I think the arpeggio one was quite helpful as well.
The arpeggio, yeah.
And on the, I guess the most confusing for me was probably with, I think was it I can't remember his name, from Mexico.
Eric, the
and
dominant
I could see it was
tritons.
going somewhere, but I couldn't really follow, I guess, with all the like the subgroups of diminished and stuff like. But it was still super interesting. But I was a bit lost, I guess.
Okay. They've mentioned it to me before the scales also, the exotic scales. It's easier, right? It's easier to pick up a scale and just try to get the taste of something different in a new context, right?
Yeah, I found the arpeggios really good as well.
Arpeggios, nice.
Something I should have realized years ago, but with the caged system, the fact that Django used the D chord shape from the caged system as the basis, it was just like, oh, why didn't I get that? You know, if I'd learned that 5 years ago, I would have, everything would have made so much more sense. So that was really helpful to have that. I wish I'd known it 5 years ago.
Nice. Well, actually, that's something that we can also apply for the diminished. Okay, for the diminished arpeggios. Let me just see some messages. Carlos probably is not joining today. Was this guy from last week? This guy.
The arpeggios, is that? Did I miss that when I left last week?
No. The arpeggios was probably second or third. Actually, I'm not sure, but I think this is the second month of workshops already. Yeah, more than 2 months actually. This is our 10th session, and the arpeggio was the second. Yeah, I have the list here. And it's quite interesting. Adrian, I remember you saying this workshop with Eric, so much information and super confusing. And in a way, I hope that this workshop will be a little bit enlightening. Like, probably you'll have these aha moments, like Dave was saying, why didn't I know that Django would use this shape, this shape? And for the diminished, I think you're gonna see some of those moments. Probably in other moments it's gonna be really frustrating because it can be quite confusing, because basically we're gonna work 4 chords in one, okay? And but the probably the, how do I say, the thing that kind of makes it easier is that the patterns are all the same, the thought process is all the same, and there's only 3 keys for us to process. So whenever we think about a song in A or a song in G, it's the same. It's the same diminished patterns and the way to blend things. Well, basically, and for starters, we all know that diminished is based on 1.5 tones. If we're in E, actually if we're in F, because with F I can have frets yet, right? In F the diminished chord is always rotating the voices, the 4 voices, and it repeats itself. The chord colors are always the same. The diminished can be used as a dominant in disguise because it doesn't have the root, or as a chromatic passing chord, upwards or downwards, something like diminished ascending passing chord to the A, or descending passing chord again to the A minor to G. Okay. If we think about the diminished chord as a chromatic, right? When we think about the diminished as a dominant, here's the thing. F. Which key am I? F diminished, A flat diminished, B diminished, C diminished. Which key am I? Any guesses? I haven't resolved the chord, right? So I can be in four different keys. Which dominant am I playing? Hello, Sandro? Just started talking about diminished. So let's revise the thing. Diminished is 1.5 tones. Is a sequence of 1.5 tones, right? So I can have 4 diminished, 4 voicings. The voicing is the same. The distance between the voices is the same because I'm splitting 1 octave in 4. If I only play the diminished, I don't know which key am I playing or which dominant am I playing. Now, if I'm playing this voicing, everybody knows this voicing, diminished F on the 8th fret, right? If I'm playing this voicing, how can I find which dominant I am? I just drop the flat 9 to the root. And this happens for every diminished voicing. If I'm playing this voicing right here, and if I drop the flat 9, oh, this is E. The same here. Right? If I'm playing B diminished, if I drop down the flat 9, B flat 7, right? Again, if I drop down the flat 9 of G sharp diminished, I get G7. Okay? Now, the interesting part of this, and footnote, we're gonna find out every major, minor, half diminished, and 7 chords, and inversions from this one voicing, this voicing, any voicing from the diminished. How? Why? If I'm starting the F chord, the diminished F chord, and I know that I can drop this note to make it a dominant, but I also know that this voicing is the same as this voicing, this voicing, this voicing. So I can drop down any note, not only this one, okay? I can drop down any note of any of the 4 notes to get one other dominant chord. If I drop down, what I'm saying is this note is the flat 9 of this chord. What if this is the flat 9? If this is the flat 9, I get B flat. And if I drop, instead of dropping this or this, if I drop first this note, if I drop this note, oh, C sharp, C sharp dominant. This is the first inversion of C sharp dominant. I just dropped down the flat 9. Now I'm calling this one the flat 9. I drop the flat 9. Where's the root here? Last voicing. If I say that this is the flat 9 of the dominant, which chord is this? G7. Here's the shape, the D shape, right? But instead of playing this note, the root note, I'm playing the third inversion from the flat 7. So from this one position, from this one voicing, you get E7, you drop down the flat 9 of B7, you drop down the flat 9 to get the C sharp dominant, or you drop the flat 9 again to get the G7. And here you have the 4 inversions of the dominant chords. Okay, just by moving one note, just by thinking, oh, if I consider any of these voices the flat 9, I get 4 dominant voicings for 4 different keys. Okay, light bulb moment, right? This is like this is kind of, the first time I just thought about this, I actually felt a little bit stupid, because every time I hear and read and, oh, just drop this voice, right, and you get the dominant. But it never occurred to me I can drop any of the other voices, so I get the other inversions of the chords, right? So sometimes I remember showing this inversion, for instance, and whenever I show this inversion to students, like, what the fuck is that? It's simply a diminished, but I consider the top note, the first voice, to be the flat 9 of which chord? This one. I have the triad here of G, but the bass is on the 7th. This is actually some good voicing to play on the bottom, right? D major. Instead of putting the 7th over here, I'm gonna drop down and resolve on F, right? The same thing when you're playing this voicing. If I'm thinking about C sharp, this is the flat 9. If I'm playing now, does it make sense? If I'm playing Dark Eyes, I'm dropping the flat 9, and this is the inversion, the first inversion of A, right? Okay. Okay or not okay? Okay. Breathe, yeah. What if instead of dropping down one note What if I move up one note? Can I move up one note? Check this out. If I'm playing this voicing. Oh, by the way, I told you that from one voicing, whatever voicing from the diminished, you can play 4 dominant voicings. But I also said that you can play the dominant, the major, the minor, the half diminished. You can play any kind of chord just by moving 1 or 2 notes, okay? And by the way, just notice that this voicing, the logic behind this voicing or the logic behind this voicing, for instance, is exactly the same. Because if I'm on B, actually, in the context of Dark Eyes, if I'm on B flat diminished, if this is the flat 9, move it backwards and you get the A7, right? Nothing fancy about that. Logical. If I'm playing this voicing, it's the same, right? B flat diminished, A7. If I'm playing one inversion, now let's do the opposite. I'm playing this inversion of the diminished. Right? Now I'm playing the C sharp. What do I have to do to make this chord a dominant chord? I have to lower the flat 9. Where is the flat 9 of this chord? Where is the B flat? Here. So if I drop this note, first inversion of A7. Oh, new voicing. Diminished, dominant, because here I have the flat 9 and here I have the root octave of A. Right? If I'm gonna do this voicing now, right? Again, where is the B, the flat 9 of this voicing? The B flat is here. Do you know this chord? Yes? Do you know this chord? This is an A7, like a C7 here. Okay, this is a second inversion, right? I just know that, oh, I can lower the flat 9. The flat 9 is here. Aha! New voicing. And the last one. Right? The third inversion. Where is the B flat? Here. B flat. Right? A. But you lower the. I think, Sandro, I think it was with you, this voicing, like, wow, I can't remember this voicing. Diminished. Lower the flat 9. Ta-da! Okay, from every voicing, every diminished voicing that you have, you can lower the flat 9 and you get the 4 inversions of the dominant. It's the same thing if you're in minor swing. E7, I play this voicing. I can drop the 9, the flat 9. This is not the flat 9 of E, but I can think this is the next thought process, right? I can drop any note, and now I'm playing sharp 11. But let's hold that thought, okay? in this voicing, if I drop the flat 9, Or in this voicing, if I lower the flat 9, here you have this another inversion. Here, lower the flat 9, right? And here, here, and you lower the flat 9 to the root. So inversions of the dominant chords. You have this one, you have this one, you have this one, and you have this one. Now you have 8 voicings. 4 diminished and 4 dominant, right? The next step is, okay, if I can consider to lower this note, I can lower the other and the other and the other, and I go to different voicings, and then I can mix different sounds. Before going to that door, crossing that door, what if I raise the note? Instead of, let's go back to the first example, F diminished. This is F diminished. I lowered the flat 9. What if I raise this note? What chord is this?
Major 6 or?
Major 6. Dave was, I just noticed his lips saying half-diminished. This is half-diminished. Check, Adrian, minor 6 and half-diminished. Okay, let's make a duel to see who's got this right. Both of you, because the half-diminished and the minor 6s are the same, are inversions of the same chord. If you're struggling to find out the chord or the voicing, this is the best method for you from a diminished position. Where's the inversion? Where's the 4 inversions? Lower for a dominant, raise for a minor, or half diminished. In this case, if I raise this, I have a B half diminished, B minor 6, which is a G sharp half diminished, right? Let's see another note. If I raise, for instance, this one, whoa, completely different sound, right? From here to here, you go to B minor 6. From here to here, F minor 6. This is an F minor, right? If you lower this note, this is the minor 6, right? From F minor 7, you lower the F, and here you go. Where does this come from? From this diminished. Right? Sandro is saying no.
Having a rusty moment.
F sharp. Raise this note. You get the second inversion of the minor 6. Raise this note. You get the root, the F minor 6 on the root. If you raise this one, check out this one. This is the easiest one. If you raise this note, which chord is this? Come on. You see? F, from F diminished, you raise this one, you get F half diminished. Aha, which is A flat minor 6. And if you raise this one, the root this is the second inversion of the B half-diminished. Second inversion B half-diminished. Okay? Why does this happen? Because you're always rotating voices. Okay, let's breathe a little bit. Do your math. Ask some questions. Everything is okay. No need to alarm.
I need to go through and learn these inversions. A lot of this is new. I'm not used to any of these inversions or anything like this. But yeah, I'll start digging through these, and I think it'll make more sense for sure.
I think this is the best way for you to learn inversions, actually, because basically you're starting from one pretty common and well-known voicing already, and you can do this, you can practice this from any kind of diminished chord shape that you know. If you know this chord shape, start from this chord shape, right? If you let's start from here, for instance. Actually, from here, from diminished. If you raise this note, you have an A minor half diminished, A minor 6, sorry, or F sharp half diminished. This you just raise this note and make it a minor 6. But if you raise this note, oh. Where did I hear this sound? Minor swing, right? This is another inversion for a minor 6. Ha. What if I raise this one? Minor 6. What if I raise this one? This one, sorry. And how many times have you heard Django play again this voicing? Mitchell and everyone, think about these inversions. From the fourth string, you get everything. You get this voicing, you get this voicing, you get this voicing, and you get this voicing. Of course, for 4 different voicings, but these are voicings that Django is using all the time. You can hear them. You can hear this voicing. All right. Let's do this for the A minor, for minor swing. From this voicing, you raise this one, minor 6, right? Now, go to the next inversion and notice which note am I raising now. I'm always thinking about raising one note, okay? And the example I was picking up the flat 9 and I was raising it, okay? The flat 9 of the diminished, but I was thinking about a dominant chord. Now I'm thinking, okay, I have to raise one note. I have to raise the 5th to the 5th, the sharp 4 to the 5th. I know that this voicing is A minor. The sharp 4 is wrong, so I move it up to the 5th. If I'm in this voicing, the sharp 4 is wrong. The sharp 4 is here, and I move it up. From this voicing, to this. I raise this one, and I have A minor from the root. This voicing, where's the wrong note here? Sharp 4, not this. This is the A minor, first inversion. From here, I just moved the note up. You get all those kicks, the jungle kicks from these voicings. And last one. Yeah, right. This one. This is the wrong note. I have to move the wrong note. Here you go. Second inversion of A minor 6. Which is, it's the same as the F sharp half-diminished. Okay? Everybody's brows are like this. Like, what is going on? Questions? We just solved dominance from diminished to dominance, and now to minor 6, which are the same as half diminished. So 3 qualities of chords are checked, right? Can we can we transform diminished chords to major chords? Yes. You can do everything from these diminished. Let's go back to the F. F diminished. How can I change this F diminished to a major chord? I have to move some notes, right? What if I move, and now this is the to me, when I realized this, it was the moment where I wanted to pick up the guitar and throw it out my window, because what the fuck is going on? How is this possible? Check this out. Pick up these 2 notes and slide it up. This is the F major. 1, 5, 6, 3, right? From the diminished, move these 2 notes, right? Up. If this is an F diminished, you're going to move the flat 5 and the flat 3rd. Notice something. Let's think about how you build a major and a diminished chord. Oh, actually, any chord. 1, 3, 5, and 6. If we're talking about the major chord, right? The diminished, you have 1, flat 3, flat 5, 6. So if you raise the 3 and the flat 3 and the flat 5, you get 1, 3, 5, 6. You have the major 6, and this is what's going on. You raise the flat 3rd and flat 5, and you get the root position for F major 6. But if you lower, now this is the moment where, what the fuck is going on? If you lower these two notes, check this out. What voicing is this? B flat major 6. What the fuck? If you lower the notes or if you raise the notes, you get a major 6 voicing also, right? From this diminished, you raise and you get an F major 6. But if you lower, you get a B flat major 6. 1, 5, 1, 3, 6. Adrian, we talked about Shikawarabi, for instance, right? This voicing, you just lower these two notes and you get the B flat major 6. From here, you raise to the F. If I'm playing in F, the Shikawarabi, right? that's the thing. And we can repeat the process for the other voicings. If I'm playing this voicing, but actually before leaving this voicing, major and major again, right? If I'm going to D diminished, what kind of chords can I get from this? What kind of major chords? I can get D major or G. You just move these two notes up or down and you get, right? Which this is something that is super helpful, because I think we already talked about the tonic diminished when you have songs like, for instance, Daphne, Belleville, Swing 42, all of those rhythm changes. Right? What Django used to do a lot is he's playing D major, diminished to major. So he's actually playing and thinking. He's just moving these two notes. So it's super helpful to think about this, because it opens your ears and you start relating chords and notes in a proper way, so to speak. Okay. If you're playing D major, I'm not leaving D. I'm creating tension without going to the A7, right? I'm creating tension from the tonic diminished. Okay. All good?
So are you using these diminished as kind of like just a chromatic passing tone? Just
yes.
Here and there? Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
But actually, it's more than a chromatic passing tone because you can sit on those notes. A chromatic passing tone is just like, right? But now I'm sitting on the notes. Right? And this is because the proximity of there's proximity, there's familiarity, right? From this and this, but there's tension, of course, and you want that tension. If you're playing 4 bars of D, right? You want to disrupt this state of comfort, so to speak, right? You want to disrupt this comfort zone because if you don't disrupt the comfort, the resolution, if you don't add the tension, you just become monochordic and there's nothing going on, right? So use it more as a note where you can sit on instead of just, oh, I'm gonna pass by to reach a good note, or you see. Are you preoccupied? Are you thinking a lot about I see some smoke coming out of your head. It's normal. It's normal, guys. This is something that let's digest this. Okay. What I advise you to do is look for the chords. Okay, now you know. You just drop one note. You have dominant. You raise one note. You have minor or half diminished, and with these 2 notes up or down, you go to the major 6. Okay. Use it. Try to. For instance, if you have this voicing, notice that to get to the major 6, I had to raise or low the flat 3 and flat 5. So if I'm on this voicing, you know this one, right? This is a G major 6, 1, 5, 6, 3. Here's the relation. Diminished, you drop down these notes, right? But if you raise them, you get another 6 chord, which is D. From this diminished, you can go to G, or you can go to D. Right? Sandro, drink a cup of coffee. Questions?
I guess it's more, I got a bit confused, I guess, when you were on one set position of the diminished, and then when you start to go on the inversion of the diminished, So is it that on each position, if you move any of the notes, you end up, for instance, on a minor 6? Or is it that for... So it's not like for one position, you have like only one that makes...
That's the thing. One position, the thought process for one position is exactly the same for any other. So from one position, you or any other, you have to multiply this for 4, because from this position you can go to 4 different places. That's why you can get the 4 inversions. You have root, right? First inversion, second inversion, in third inversion. Root if you start on the 1, first inversion when you start on 3rd, second inversion when you start on the 5th, and third inversion when you start on the 7th or the 6th, right? So from any of these voicings, you can go to the other inversions. Okay? And again, you can go to dominant, to minor off diminished, or to major. Okay.
So I guess for instance, for the example of going to the major, you raise whatever 2 notes, you end up always on the major.
Okay, no. You have to remember which note to move.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. That's the thing. If you want to find out the inversions for the dominant, you lower the flat 9. Do you want to write, or do you want me to write dominant? If you want to go to a dominant, lower the flat 9. For a minor 6, raise the if you're going to a minor 6, raise the sharp 4. From here, this is a sharp 4 in. Here you go. Okay, which is the same. I'm calling this the flat 9 or sharp 4, but it's the same. I'm on the same voicing. This is the flat 9 for this voicing. This is the sharp 11, sharp 4 for this voicing. Okay. And for the major, you have to raise the flat 3 and flat 5, or lower the flat 3 or flat 5 of the diminished. For a major, raise or low flat 3 and flat 3 and flat 5. Okay. Let me see, Dave. Just need to play with it for a few years. Are there any other places you can go, where you can go to by shifting one note or 2 semitones from diminished? There's one more, but that's, I'm thinking of major minor. Yeah, there's one more, but it's actually a dominant with a flat 5. So it's not that common in gypsy jazz. It's more common in jazz music. This kind of voicing. C. Okay. Or what's the, there's another voicing for this, which is this one. I don't even remember this voicing. I never use it, but it's something like no. Whoa, what am I doing? No, it's this one. It's this. No, this is dominant. Actually, I have to revise that one. This one is a C with a flat 5. And there's a chord that I don't remember now. I never use that. Which has that flat 5, a dominant with a flat 5, but it's probably something like 7. Is this one? 7, 3rd, flat 5, root. Okay, I never use this one. Major and minor, it's this 3 combination. Major 6, major 6 dominant also, and minor half-diminished. Okay. All good, Mitchell?
I've got 2 questions. So when you're soloing or improvising, are you mostly thinking in chords like this? You're just kind of like outlining the chords, just note at a time.
That's a very very good question. Even when I'm not playing this kind of chord, for instance, D minor 6, it helps a lot to know the positions, because when I'm improvising, I know where the 6 is, and I know where the 3rd is, and where the 5 is, and the 1 is. Even when I'm not thinking about arpeggios or scales, it's super helpful to know the shape of the chord and where these pretty notes land. Okay, so if I'm playing, I know that I landed on the 3rd, and probably I would play this chord, but I want to go to the 6, and now I know where the 6 is. Okay, tell me more.
Cool. And the other thing so I've got like your kind of formula here for going from diminished to dominant 7s, minor 6, major 6. Context of like a song, so if we're in a song that has a dominant 7, then you can lower the sorry, I guess I'm just trying to think of how to put these in a song that doesn't have any diminished chords.
Okay. If you're in a song where there's no diminished, you can transform them, can do the opposite thought, which is, for instance, Dark Eyes, you have this A7. You already have an A7, so you move the root to flat 9. And you replicate these voicings from 1.5 and 1.5 steps. Okay. If you're thinking about which was the song that you were playing? It was in F. I don't remember.
Crazy Rhythm.
Crazy Rhythm. Crazy Rhythm is in F. First of all, you can think about F diminished to F major. Just to create some movement, right? It's not that static. Then you can think, okay, if I'm in F, what's the 5th degree? Fa, Sol, La, Si, Do. C7. What can I do with the C7? I can raise the flat 9 of the C7. Instead of playing C7, I'm gonna raise and play the flat 9. Now, what you can start thinking is, and this is the second process for us to start improvising and using these diminished chords, okay? If I'm in F, the dominant is C7. C7, I have 4 voicings. G diminished, B flat diminished, C sharp diminished, and E diminished, right? Let me write this down. Key. The thought process, and if you want to put it in words or write some notes on your sheet, chord sheet, is key F, dominant C7. Okay, C7 is the same as D flat diminished, and D flat diminished is the same as E diminished, G diminished, and B flat diminished, right? Aha. So now I can use any of these. I'm in F. G diminished. F. G diminished. Dave, do you remember asking in the beginning, sometimes I messed up, and where can I start? Is there a quick way, a quick fix to know where to start the diminished phrases, the diminished licks, the diminished runs? Aha. If I'm playing C7, I know that I can start from the flat 9, from the 3rd, from the 5th, and from the flat 7. Which notes are these? If I'm in F major, C7, I have the 5th here. I can think it's from the G or it's from the 5th, and I know. Here's the lick from the 5th G. Or I can think about from the flat 9. Nice. Or I can think about from the 3rd. That's why I always advise you to know your chords. If you know this position, C7, I know that from this note I can start a diminished run. I know that from this note, because this is the 5th of G, of C, the G is the 5th of C, I can start a diminished run. So I'm always thinking and focusing on the chords and the note flat 9, 3rd, 5th, flat 7. If I'm here on this position, or now that I know the inversions, I'm here on this inversion, or I'm here on this inversion, right? 5th, 3rd, right? Flat 9. So make it a target note. Make the flat 9, the 3rd, the 5th, or the flat 7 a target note or a starting point. It's even better for you to think about it as a starting point. Okay, and practice thinking about the chord and where that note, where is the 5th of the note in here, in here. Think about the voicings and in this way. I can use the G here, right? And I will start to run here. I can start here. Notice that I'm thinking about C7. I'm starting on the 5th. Where is the diminished voicing starting from a G here? Where in another string here? Learn your voicings. Focus on voicings. I have this voicing over here. If I want to start from the 3rd, the voicing is here. Sorry, I mean C7. Sorry, C7. The voicing is here. 3rd. Where's the 3rd on the 6th string? Here. I get this voicing diminished. This is the dominant. 3rd. Where's the 3rd on the 4th string? Here. Okay, and do the same for the flat 9, the 3rd, the 5th, and the 7th, the flat 7th. Okay.
So, thanks. Yeah. So I've got a confession to make. So I know a lot of the chord shapes and the roots, but I don't know, which is the 3rd, which is the 5th, which is the 6th. So that's something I've never learned properly.
Okay. But you know all of the inversions?
I know all the versions you've shown, pretty much the ones we've done today. Yeah, recognize the shapes and the roots. But if you said, where's the 5th, where's the 3rd, I would go... Okay. But that's the most important thing, Dave and all of you guys. If you're thinking about lowering the flat 9 from this voicing, you have to know where the flat 9 is, right? But if I say, okay, now this is the flat 9, lower this note, and you get this voicing. Okay, I know this voicing, but I don't know where the flat 9 is. You'll never find out that voicing if you don't know each and every note that are inside. So, and that's something that I can't show you. It's like that Zen thing. I can show you the door, but you have to walk through. It's this. So, Dave, for you have to. I strongly advise you to check out which notes are you actually playing and move them around. Use this. Okay, if I move this note, if this is the flat 9, I move it around. Okay, this is the flat 9 to the 1. What about these notes? 5, 3rd, flat 7. Okay, but if now this is the flat 9. Okay, flat 9 to 1, and I got this. Which note is this one? Which degree is this one now? Right.
You tell me.
I'm sorry.
You see, and make it as fast as you can. Okay, you just change this voicing to this voicing. This is flat 9 to the root. Which note is this now? Because for this chord, it was the flat 9 of this chord. Now it's not. You see, you're actually rotating. This is not only a thought process that will burn a lot of your mental energy. You have to hear it. This is especially, I think this is the best, how do I say, ear training. The best ear training. Forget about Ear Master and all of those programs that you can recognize intervals. Now you're focusing on how I hear this chord. What note am I hearing here? Okay, this is the one. B7. Aha. a minor seventh. Right?
So is that the best way to learn this, is to just take familiar chord shapes and listen to the notes individually and then try different chord shape or move the notes? There's no shortcut, right?
Sorry, mate. There's no shortcut. If your ear recognizes, oh, this is a flat 9, this is a flat 7, this is a major third, now you're hearing those notes. Now you're hearing those colors, okay? And that's the most important thing.
But then you also learn to associate this finger on, even without hearing it, you learn to recognize which fingers are holding down which.
Eventually. Eventually, yeah. This voicing, for instance, this kind of voicing, Bireli uses it all the time to play the final part of Blues Mineur. Instead of playing, Bireli goes like E flat 7 to D 7 to the first inversion of G minor. Okay, minor 6. Okay.
Sorry to keep asking questions.
No, bring it on. Bring it on. That's the most important thing. But yeah, there's no shortcuts because this is your ear.
Yeah. Is there a sort of systematic approach to it? Would you start with some common shapes and just look for the third and the fifth and then add in other tones, or do you?
I would start with the dominants because I think the dominants are easier, and actually. With the dominants, the dominants are not static chords. They imply movement, so it's even more important for you to play with these subtle changes. Because if you're playing, when Bireli plays, he can play. Oh, and I'm hearing a minor second, right? And B flat 1, and leading tone to the root of G, right? So I'm starting to hear movement. So from the diminished and the dominants, where is the chord leading? One good exercise, if I'm playing, let me keep this example, this is D minor, and D7 to G minor. Now I hear, first question that I asked you in the beginning of the workshop is, I just played this chord shape, this voicing. In which key am I? Now you're gonna say G because I just played it over and over and over and we're in G. But now, if I play notice that the chord shape is the same. Right? I just play, now this is my B flat and this is the dominant. Oh, I'm playing F. Where's the resolution point? B flat. Ah. So now I'm forcing my ear to pay attention to this movement B flat to 1 of F to B flat major, and now I know that okay, I have the flat 9 and the root. Which note is this one? B flat. Which note is this one? Third. Which note is this one? 5. Now, where are these notes moving to the root chord? This is staying. This is moving. This can stay if it's a major, or move if it's a major 6, and this is obviously is gonna move down, right? And now I'm associating, okay, 5, F7, 5, third, flat 7, root, 2, 1, 5, 7 or 6, third, 5. Okay, so you're labeling all of the sounds that you hear, and most importantly, the movement from this note to the other note, how they relate. Okay, and then you just covered 2. What's the other 2? If you move this note, oh, and put it in context. Do I know any song? To a bumble level. Oh, B7 to E. Okay, so now I'm changing this chord position to this chord position to resolve on this chord position. Which notes am I playing? Flat, flat 9 to root, flat 7, third, 5. Okay, this is a moment where you actually grab the microscope and start checking, oh, this is the 7th, the 3rd, whatever, and what's the movement that I want to create from this note to that note. The movement is most important. Actually, the other day I hear a guy saying, I don't play chords, I play movement. And it's like, fuck, why didn't anybody said that to me like 10 or 20 years ago? You see, you're not playing chords, you're playing movement. You're playing this to this. And again, think about the 4 diminished shapes. How can I resolve this chord to this chord? I'm creating tension to the E, right? Or okay, go to your lab, and because now you have 4 diminished and 4 dominants, and you can resolve in 4 different chords. And I was resolving these voicings to E, but now I know, oh, I can resolve this. If this is not a B7, what if it's this voicing? Oh, now I can go, wait a minute. First I was moving to E, now I'm moving to B flat? What the fuck? It's a sharp 4. It's right? But I'm gonna keep the diminished voicing. And now, for instance, one song in B flat, Sheik of Araby. Do-de, 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 gonna insist on all of these movements to the new tonic. But I could also do something wait a minute. I just resolved the same voicing to E, to B flat, and now to G. And I played Trouble Bolero, Chica Varabi, and Lady Be Good. Now it's like, fuck. It's crazy, right? But again, most important thing, know the notes, the degrees that you are playing. No shortcuts. Sorry guys, no shortcuts. Como é que é isso? Okay.
I sent a link in the chat about an exercise that we talked about, Nuno, which was know the notes, an A, and don't think about the fretboard, like memorizing. Okay, an A, it's here, it's here, it's here. And if you play like this, and it takes 10 minutes of your time practicing the exercise I sent in the link, it really helps. The next step is to think about labeling. Okay, if you know that the fifth is an A, you can know, okay, A is here, it's there. You can navigate. But I just wanted to say that a year ago, more or less a year ago, I started taking lessons with Nuno. And the first thing I said was, no, I really suck at theory, musical theory. I really need you to insist with me with that. And I took the time to, okay, let's see, A major, okay, what is it? Okay, I took the time to draw a fretboard and place all the notes that I'm playing, and know, okay, this is the 1, this is the 5, this is the 8, this is the 3. Why? This is a 3, okay, minor, major, and then so on. This is the 5, this is the 8 again. So when you know this, after that you can start thinking about the extensions and all. But first of all, you have to learn the fucking notes. And it's a pain in the ass, but yeah, it's no shortcut.
Well, I think it's like we have this expression partir pedra, to break the stone.
Don't feel bad, Dave, because I'm with you, because I know all the shapes and I recognize the shapes. Yeah, but then when I start singing, oh, which notes I'm playing, I'm lazy.
Guys, I think that this exercise and this approach will actually force you to know the notes, okay? Because you just pick up if you pick up this voicing and move this note, which chord you're gonna say, oh, I know what that chord is. Okay, but put it in context. Now tell me what notes are you playing and how this voicing is going to resolve to the next one. What is the next chord that is going to resolve? Okay, I can say, oh, this is a flat B flat minor 6, right? Okay, where is this going to resolve? For me, it's going to resolve here, because I'm thinking about minor swing, for instance. But it can go to 4 different places, right? And that's the for you to start improvising with this stuff. Think about it this way now. Let's go to minor swing. We have E7. E7 can be F diminished. Actually, let me put it this way. I'm writing let's keep the major triads. How to keep, how to use diminished harmony, but using major chords. That's a very good one, okay? Because if you think about E7, the opposite thought process is, okay, now I'm E7, to make it a diminished, I'm gonna raise the roots to the flat 9, right? What if this is not the root? This is not the flat 9. What if this is the root? What if this is the root, right? What are we going to do? E7, G7, B flat 7, and C sharp are 4 keys where you can play a major Bireli does this lick, something like and then he uses some polyrhythms, and it's like the band is almost collapsing. What is he doing? He's picking up the G7 and make the E7, making a G7, a B flat 7, and a C sharp 7. Why? If you think about the E7, you can actually mix the chord extensions. You can use the 13, you can use a flat 13, you can use a 9, a flat 9, a sharp 9, right? If I play this voicing, 1, flat 7, third, 13, flat 9. This is a triad. Dave, again, Dave and everybody. The fucking D shape again, right? But against an E. So this is a C sharp triad. Check out the message on the chat. E7, G7, B flat 7, C sharp 7. Haha. Now you ask, you're saying that I can play E7 to A minor or C7 to A minor? Yes. Melodically, harmonically, of course, nobody's gonna play awful, right? And of course, no, but please don't don't do that. Don't play that. But melodically, It creates that tension that you want on a dominant chord because you're superimposing. Why this doesn't work in a comping, but it works in a melodic context because the bass of that moment, the harmonic bass is the E7, but I can use the superimposed chord.
Okay, use it in solo, but don't use it in rhythm. But
Yes.
what about accentuations?
What about? Sorry?
Acentuações, não sei como é.
Accents.
Accents.
You can use it in accents. If you want to play sorry, bad resolution. Yes, of course you can use it. Because you're always creating an upper layer. Okay, that's the point. You're creating an upper layer. You don't use it as a comping substitution because this is the lower layer. This is the ground. The ground that you're gonna put all the color on top, right? So you can use this if you're playing. For instance, I remember when I started using this voicing, this specific voicing. This is a B flat. Remember the first time when I used this voicing live, everybody was like, oh, what the fuck was that? Because it catches your attention, right? Because it's like, what the fuck is going on? What is this? Right? There's so much tension. It's so unexpected, but it's relatable. And that's the thing. Then you can create layers of tension.
Sorry, Nuno, could you just repeat what the principle is at work here, what the rule is that lets you substitute that chord over the other chord?
Diminished. The starting point is diminished. If I play, the chord is E7, I can raise this note to the flat 9, and then I can move, right? Move the diminished. What if I move the diminished, but now I cancel the flat 9? You see? And now check the sequence on the chat. E7, diminished, E7. I move it and cancel the B flat, G7. Move it and cancel the B9, B7. And I'm here and cancel again, C#7. Okay.
Yeah.
From another point of view, if you're playing this kind of voicing, for instance, flat 9 13, this is C# triad. Also, if you're playing, check this out. I don't know if you have a brain yet, if everything is fried, but check this out. Another thought process. Sandro is seeing the light now. I love to see your expressions, and something happens in your brain. Aha! Those aha moments are priceless. Check this out. If I'm in E7, right? Context. Minor swing, Joseph, Danube, whatever. Dominant chord, E7, F is the diminished. I raise the root to the flat 9. Nice. How do I do this? I move this root, E, to F. Why don't I keep the E in a different place? If I move this here, I lose the E, right? Not necessarily. I can move it here, and now I have the root and the flat 9. Instead of playing this voicing, I'm gonna move to here. What does this mean? I'm playing an E triad, but with the F on the bass. And if I move, right? Now you have more voicings. You don't always need to play the diminished, and also movement of the voices. I can play right, because I'm thinking about the major triad. I'm not always or only thinking about the diminished. I'm not only playing and now I'm playing fuck. Don't throw your guitar away just yet. Just does this make sense? I hope you're not like completely fried with your brain, but I think this is like the key to so many things, and how you hear and how you relate chords, diminished, major, minor, six, and how to create the movement, not only the chords, and how you now you know the inversions, you know the resolutions, how to play one voicing, one chord, and resolve to different places, okay? And hopefully you get this excitement of finding out new things. Oh, I've never heard about. Let me give you one example. Tu Savais is one of my favorite songs ever. I don't know if you know this one. It's in B minor. Woo. And actually, Jungle plays a tritone. He plays C7 over F sharp, and you hear these guys, Bireli Lagrene, playing these voicings. But I could play A7 E7 over an F sharp. F sharp. This is the correct chord. But what if I move it to A? What if I move it to C? What if I move it to everything works in a different way, right? Right? Or if I'm playing I'm just, every time I have the 5 chord, I'm putting different chords. I'm putting the tritone, I'm putting the A, I'm putting the F sharp is the chord, but I'm also can play the D sharp. Okay, why? Because they are all related with the diminished, with this diminished logic. And now I can, it's like a portal. It's basically a portal for you to just land on that and move to a different key if you want to, if you're composing, for instance, or for a different mood. Or right? It's the same note, but the color that is around it changed, right? Trying to read Dave. This chord superimposition is such a cool song, something I've heard used before but didn't understand what it was or where it came from till now. One of my favorite gypsy jazz bands is Le Doigt de l'Homme is a great it's a great example. They use this like all the time, and it's like, what's going on? This, I know this song, but what are they playing, right? Why is this working, right? It's so much tension and so much unpredictability, right? It's super great, super great. Benoit and Olivier, right? Yeah, 1910 is heavy stuff, man. Heavy stuff. Great. Thank you, Dave. Guys,
I just want to say one more thing. I can't really stress out how this is useful to find the tritone. Like making to the E7. You have here, let's find the diminished. Okay, diminished. I can place this, for example, on G7. Yeah. So G7. Here's a pre-movement to the A. A minor 7.
Exactly.
Here it is.
Exactly.
Here's the tritone.
Exactly. And great point, sir. Notice that, and this is probably one more step when you think, okay, I reached shore, right? No, there's a little bit more that you can go. You don't always have to play just one chord or just one substitution. You can mix. If you're in E7, I can play E7 with B flat, So I can mix them both, okay? Or I can play E7 and G. I can start with the diminished G, diminished E, G, right? What am I doing? Arpeggio, E, and now, Dave, I know that this is the fifth of G, and I go back with the G. E diminished to G major. Guys, challenge. Write or record your own ways, paths, movements, right? Melodic movements or harmonic movements to make this work. If Sandro was saying, for instance, E, diminished, G7 with inversion, and now you create movement, right? I'd like to challenge you guys, record a, I don't know, 15-second video or 30-second video with just one movement, two movements, like, oh, I from all of this that we talked about, I just find that this movement is super pretty. Is this, or I find that this is super pretty. Try it out, try it out, try it out. Okay, this is just ideas for you to have fun.
Really fix it.
Sandro. Whoa! Well, immediately I'm like, show me that. What are you playing? Right?
Came from the
Da da da. I want to
Triad.
B flat. You were playing B flat, right?
Yeah.
And it's like
on E7. And when I reached the third of the B flat, I continued on the triton and resolved to the 8.
exactly. And there's so many possibilities, right? It's just you're unfolding and unfolding and unfolding of possibilities and movements and possibilities and movements. Okay, try it out, guys. I really hope that this is not burning your brains, because I know I'm dealing with this for quite some time now, and to me this is still like eye-opening, and there's this novelty, okay, from the most simple things to the more complex things. Just take what's meaningful to you, to your ears right now. If it's just that movement of major to diminished to major, perfect. Just try to make it you can spend a whole hour just creating new line after new line, lick after lick, right? Because it's always changing. Try it out. Okay.
Nuno, I got one I could share with people.
Yes, please.
I don't know if you can see the video there. This is over a dominant 7.
Ooh. Exactly.
I'm not quite sure why it works, but or what it is. Even it's coming down on the diminished, I think. But
yeah, you're playing A7.
Yeah.
Do it again.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're playing. Right? this is a tritone. You're actually playing a tritone. Okay, you're mixing A7 with E flat 7.
Okay.
Why? Because A7, C, E flat 7, and G flat 7 are inside this diminished link, and you're mixing something like this. You're coming down with a B flat. The end part is the diminished, but yeah, but you're always mixing the B, the A7 with the E flat 7. Okay, tritone. This is something that actually, for you to hear, Stockholm is doing this a lot of time. Stockholm is the master of mixing the tritones. A with E flat. He's doing phrases like is mixing A, E flat, up, down, up, down. Bireli, on the other hand, he's not doing who was that? Stockholm Rosenberg. Stockholm. Bireli is much more into, not so much into that tritone stuff, but more into this. In this case, it would be A and F sharp, for instance. Why A, F sharp? Let me give you an example with the D position. A, right? Because now you can stack this position, this D, from the diminished sequence, the 1.5 step above or below. Okay.
So my example was linked by a tritone rather than a diminished.
I'm sorry, I didn't get the first part.
Sorry. So the bit I played, that lick is the link is a tritone.
It's a tritone, exactly.
Not the diminished.
No. But here's the thing: when you play the tritone, the diminished has 2 tritones.
Oh, of course, yeah, right.
The diminished has this is the tritone, and this is the tritone. It has 2. We don't usually think about the diminished as you don't usually think the tritone as a diminished, but it has the diminished sequence inside of it. Okay, actually, when you think about, first you think about the tritone. Okay, I split it in half, and then you think, okay, this is an augmented scale. The diminished is actually 2 augmented scales. Because you're splitting in half the classical composer stretch this out so far away that you get to Schoenberg and those 12 note sequences, for instance, where you don't repeat one note before you play all the 12 notes. Okay. And this is basically the way that classical musicians, composers try to figure out how to break this 1-5-1. That is, it seems like it's so ingrained in our ears, and we don't seem to experience music outside of this order, right? But that's why you get guys like Django and Bireli and these guys that are always slapping you in the face, like, forget about the rules, and and now I can do this, and now I'm all for breaking the rules and creating. Edouard Delhomme is a great contemporary example, because those guys are like stretching and stretching far and far and far out these harmonic and melodic concepts, and it's actually, it gets to a point that it's really challenging to our ears. We don't have to, let me stress this out, you don't have to play all the notes all the time, all the substitutions, but it's like adding a little bit of spice sometimes, to a soup or a dish, or like, tasteful. Go ahead, Sandro.
I want to take the opportunity also to show you another thing coming off also from the diminished, because thinking about the diminished, you have here on the E7 and all the sequence. You have here, and all of this is minor 6 chords. So if you think about it, you can do a minor 6 chord here. And one of my favorite licks to take on minor swing is the lightning lick from the blues in minor from Django Reinhardt. But you can do it when you are on E7, since you are here. You can end result way.
The F minor, right?
I really love this sound, because you're gonna pick the F. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's really cool. Just a suggestion.
Yeah. That's great. It's great to pick up what's actually meaningful and makes sense, and it's good to your ears to find out these things, and now put it in practice. Put those things in context. Use the play-alongs, the jam sessions, and whatever, and try to work those ideas. Okay, and eventually you'll get more comfortable using the ideas, using those licks, using that thought process. And whenever this happens to me a lot of times, whenever I'm super focused on trying to play this stuff and it doesn't work, but then you're just playing and you forget about it. I don't, this doesn't work, and what the fuck? I'm just abandoning this idea, and all of a sudden you just hear it and you play it, and it's like, this works so great, because the point here is these are like moments where you create the tension, you create novelty, you create the suspense, the what the fuck is this, the awe moment, right? And it works. Of course, if we're always doing it, it doesn't feel like it's new or is unpredictable, or right. But then you let it flow and you put it in context, and everyone's like, what the fuck? What is that? Show me that lick. So that's super rewarding. Guys, I've let me know if this is super crazy, but hopefully you get 1, 2, 3 ideas from all of this. It's been great for me to like turn the theory and the thought process in a practical way, and I hope this makes sense in for you guys. Okay, let me know and take the challenge. Just record something or write something, and then you can send it to me or share in next week. Okay, or if you want to play a little bit, just go for it. Okay, go for it, because that's the most important thing, for you to take it and put it in your instrument and make music out of it. Okay. Any questions, suggestions, concerns?
Will to test it.
Sorry, Sandra?
I have the will to test it.
Okay, that's the most important thing.
Right. See you all, guys. I really have to go. Thanks, Nuno.
Guys,
Great workshop this one.
thank you so much, and have fun with these things. Okay. See you soon, guys.
Thanks, Nuno.
Bye bye.
Talk to you next week. Bye.
Ciao, ciao.